Hi friends, this is Atul Shingarwade again here in this video lecture series over data mining and data warehousing. In my last video, I have discussed the concept regarding a priori algorithm, which is generally called as candidate generation and test algorithm for finding frequent patterns. Now, in case of a priori algorithm, we have seen that there are multiple scans to be performed, there are multiple candidates to be generated, and that's why, and even the support count every time that is to be calculated, which is again one of the tedious process. So to overcome those particular difficulties, we are having another scalable item set mining method, frequent pattern mining method, and that is known as what we can say FP growth. So here in this lecture, we are going to discuss regarding this FP growth method. Okay. Now what this particular FP growth method is. So keep in mind, in case of a priori algorithm, we have to always find out the candidates, we have to generate the candidates. And if you remember, for generating candidates, we are again have to perform two steps. One step that was called as what we can say self-joining, so that we can have what we can say the patterns, okay, which are called as one frequent pattern set, two frequent pattern set, like that we can find out number of pattern sets. So after self-joining, we have to perform pruning step. Okay, and that particular pruning step that gives rise to what we can say removal of those infrequent patterns or infrequent what we can say items from that particular item set that do not satisfy the minimum criteria or which is known as minimum support criteria. So what I have said earlier here, in case of FP growth, sorry, in case of a priori algorithm, the candidate generation will always take a time because it has two steps. Okay, that is what self-joining and what that is known as cloning. And after doing that, every time we have to count that particular or we have to calculate that particular support count of every candidate in that particular item set of candidate item set. And we go on what we can say increasing those particular what we can say levels to find out one frequent, two frequent, three frequent, and so on item sets. So that always leads or needs rather more time, and it is one of the tedious process. So to overcome those particular difficulties, we are having another method where without candidate generation. Now keep in mind, without candidate generation, okay, that was somewhat found to be a difficult process in a priori algorithm. So without candidate generation, what we can do, we can mine a frequent patterns. Okay. And this is one of the what we can say benefit of this particular FP growth algorithm. Let me specify. FP growth stands for frequent pattern growth. FP growth stands for frequent pattern growth. Now this is somewhat very simple process. Okay, of course we have to perform certain specific algorithm here, and even that algorithm is quite simple than that of that a priori algorithm. And even the time taken to complete this particular process of finding frequent patterns here in case of FP growth is what we can say very less as compared to a priori algorithm. So what is given here? Grow long patterns from short one using local frequent items. Now this is what we can say a speciality of this particular FP growth algorithm. What is given? We have to grow long patterns from what we can say from short ones using local frequent items. So what here we are going to do? We are going to what we can say consider every item set. Okay, every frequent item set. And from that particular frequent item set, we are calculating what we can say a short, as like in case of one frequent, two frequent, three frequent. We are again calculating the short patterns and then we are growing towards what we can say the larger patterns or what we can say a long patterns. Okay. Now, ABC is a frequent pattern suppose. So get all transactions having ABC inside that particular database. So this is what the step. Okay, this is what a simple description of this particular FP growth for this particular statement, that is what grow long pattern from short one using local frequent items. Okay, so what we are doing, ABC is a frequent pattern. Suppose the combination of A, B and C, that is what a frequent pattern inside the database. So what we have to do, we have to calculate all those transactions, we have to get all those transactions having ABC inside that particular database. Okay, once that particular process is done, okay, it again means that we have to calculate what all those particular transactions having ABC. It means we have to calculate the support count of that particular, what we can say, ABC inside database. So once that is done, suppose D is the local frequent item in database. Okay, if suppose D is the local frequent item in database, then we can combine that particular D to form ABCD as a frequent pattern. So what we have done, we have just what we can say increase that particular ABC pattern with ABCD. And this is what we can say a preliminary discussion regarding this particular FP growth algorithm. Now let us discuss what this particular algorithm is, and with the help of certain what we can say transaction database example, we are going to construct here the frequent pattern tree. Now keep in mind what we have to do here, by making use of that particular database and by applying that particular FP growth algorithm, we are going to construct a frequent pattern tree that will give rise to the frequent patterns that we have to find, or that we have to what we can say calculate, which will be considered as the output of this particular algorithm. Okay, so what is given in next slide? Now suppose this is what the slide that gives rise to what we can say the construction of FP tree, as I have already said, from the transaction database. Construction of FP tree from a transaction database. Now this is what a process here. Now if we consider here, this is what we can say a database, okay, that is given as transaction database, where transaction IDs are given as 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. These are the transaction IDs, okay, and these are what we can say the items bought or item purchased in every transaction. Okay, so here this database, you should understood this particular database first. Okay, as like what we can say item bots are there, as like in case of 100th transaction. Okay, these are the transaction number, you can take it what we can say anyway. So in case of transaction ID, you can have 1 2 3 4 like sequence, you can have 10 20 30 40 sequence. Here in this example we have taken it as 100 200 300 400 and 500 as the transaction IDs. In this transaction 100, the items bought or the items purchased are F, A, C, D, G, I, M and P. Okay, these are the items that are bought here. Okay, whereas in case of transaction number 200, we are having an items called as what we can say A, B, C. Then we are having F, L, M and O. In case of 300, again there are some items that are purchased together in certain order. In case of 400 also, and in case of 500 also. So this is nothing but a transaction database. 5 transactions are there, and in each transaction what sequence of items are purchased, that is recorded here. Now here you can see this is what an algorithm. These are the algorithmic steps, and these are quite simple one. These are not as much difficult as that of a priori algorithm that we have discussed in last video. So these are what some of the steps. Now what we have to do here, we have to scan this database, this particular database once to find frequent one item set. Now this is what very necessary and required condition. As like in case of a priori algorithm, we have to find out only one frequent item set. Here in FP growth, we don't have to find out the 2 frequent, 3 frequent and so on. We have to only find out one frequent item set. So what we have to do, scan database once to find out frequent one item set. Frequent one item set, and frequent one item set is what? Single item pattern. Frequent one item set is given as single item pattern. So these are the 3 steps. This is the first step of this particular algorithm. So we have to find out what frequent one item set, which constitutes what we can say the single item pattern. Then what is the second step? Then we have to sort these particular frequent items in frequency descending order. Is it clear? Once that particular frequent one item set is found, what we have to do, the next step is we have to sort that particular frequent one item set in the decreasing order of their frequencies, and that will be considered as F list. F list means what we can say, a frequency list, F list. Then the third step is that we have to scan database again, this particular database again, to construct FP tree. Okay, so these are the very simple steps. The third one is what? We have to scan database again, because we have already scanned it first time to find out the one frequent item set. We have to scan the database again to construct FP tree. Okay, now how it can be done? Okay, so let us discuss this particular algorithmic steps one by one. So we are having this particular data set. Now this is what the data set that we have given. Then what we can say, scan database once to find out frequent one items. Now if you observe here, I have given this header table here, header table along with item and frequency heads. Okay, now if you observe, these are what we can say, the left side column that shows what items, whereas the right side column that shows what frequency heads. Okay, these values 4433 वगैरह, these are the values of frequency heads, whereas the items, these are given as F, C, A, B, M, P. Okay, these are the items. Now how this particular table is formed? This particular table is called as header table, and this header table is the output of first two steps of our FP growth algorithm. That you have to keep in mind. Header table is an output of first two steps of this FP growth algorithm. What is given in first step? We have to scan this database only once to get frequent one item set having single item pattern, And the second one, then we have to sort this frequency item set. This is what the frequency item sets. Okay, in the descending order of their, what we can say, frequencies. And that we will get what called as what F list. That is called as what F list. Okay, so that F list is given here also. Okay, so F list is what FCAT. Now we will see the major thing is that how this particular table is generated. Very simple. Now just find out the frequencies of each of the item that appears inside these 5 transaction IDs. Okay, so the very first item is what F. So you have to calculate the frequency of this particular F. Now how many times this F appears here? So F appears in first transaction, that is 100. In second transaction, then in case of what we can say 300 and 400, F is not there. I think yes, in case of 300 the F is there. In case of 500 the F is there. So F appears how many times? 4 times. Then you have to calculate the frequency of A. So how many times this A appears? So A appears here also. Then we can have A in second transaction. We do not have A in third one. We do not have A in fourth one. And again we are having A in what we can say the fourth transaction. So A appears how many times? 3 times. Likewise we will calculate the frequency of C. C appears how many times? 4 times. Then we will calculate the frequency of D. So D appears what we can say? D appears how many times? 1. Then we can have D in another transaction? No, of course not. So D is there only once. So then G, how many times this G appears? So G is there in first transaction. Then we do not have G in second and third one, as well as in fourth one, as well as in fifth one. So G is again appearing only once. Then I, then M, then P, likewise for everyone. Okay, I, M, P. Now if suppose we consider another transaction 200, so A is already calculated in the above one, B is also calculated, C is also calculated, F is also calculated, L is the new item in transaction number 200. That's why again we will calculate the frequency of that L with the another transaction. So whether it appears or not. So L is there in 200 once. Then L is there in 500 transaction number. So L is having frequency of what we can say 2. Likewise for every new item, that comes under this particular transactions, we have to calculate the frequencies. And those we will list. Okay. Now how this, what I am specifying here? I am specifying the header table. How this header table is formed. So for that purpose, the very first step is what? Scan database once to find out frequent one item set. Okay. So whatever I have said regarding this particular item set now, that is for this first step. So what we have to do? We have to calculate the frequency of each individual item from this particular item set. Each new and individual item. Okay. After that, the very first and necessary condition inside what we can say finding frequent items is minimum support criteria. Yes, that we have done in a priori algorithm also. Okay. So minimum support, that value is taken as 3. Minimum support is taken as 3, and for this particular minimum support, whatever we have frequencies that we have formed or we have calculated for each of the individual item, we have to compare that particular one with the minimum support frequency 3. What we have to do? Those items from this particular total item set, or from this particular database rather, because item set is considered as only a single transaction. So all those particular items that do not satisfy this minimum support criteria, that will be what we can say removed. That will be removed, and then whatever left is written in decreasing order of their frequency to form this particular header table. Getting this? What I have said कि अभी जो हमने फ्रीक्वेंसीज निकाली ईच इंडिविजुअल आइटम की, वो फ्रीक्वेंसी के अंदर मिनिमम सपोर्ट क्राइटेरिया सेटिस्फाई करने वाले जो जो आइटम्स है वो आइटम्स को हम लिस्ट करेंगे, और उन आइटम्स को अगर हम डिक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी के हिसाब से लिस्ट करेंगे तो फिर बन जाता है हेडर टेबल। और उसके अंदर सिर्फ इतने आइटम्स रह रहे, कौन से? एफ रह रहा, सी रह रहा, देन वी आर हैविंग ए, देन वी आर हैविंग बी, एम एंड टी, because their frequencies are 4 4 3 3 3 and 3 like that. Whereas the other items, like what we can say D is there, then G is there, I is there, then we are having O is there, okay, then we are having even what we can say K is there, okay, S is there. So such types of items that do not have frequency more or equal to minimum support, that is what 3, उनकी फ्रीक्वेंसी शायद कम आएंगी, 2 आएंगी, 1 आएंगी, and that's why they will be removed, and whatever table is formed is called as what? Header table. Is it okay? So header table is formed. Header table should be listed in decreasing order of their frequencies. Okay. अब क्या करना है? अब हमें फ्रीक्वेंसी ट्री कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है. The third step is what? Constructing frequency tree. But before constructing frequency tree, for every transaction you have to remove those data items which do not appear here inside this header table. Okay, this is the main step for every data set. Okay, because these all are considered as the database, and every data set means what? 100 data set, 100 transaction ID is there, 200 is there, 300 is there, 400, 500 is there. So from every transactions where we are having some set of items, you have to remove those data items, okay, that do not falls into this particular header table. So if we consider the first one as an example, I will explain regarding the first one. F is there, the very first one item is what? F. So F is already there. What about A? A is already there. Okay, what about C? C is already there. Okay, what about D? Is this D is there inside this particular one? No. So remove this particular D because it is totally infrequent. Remove this. Then what about G? No, G is not there. So remove this. What about I? Even I is not there. So remove this. What about M and P? So those are there. So keep only those items which appears inside this particular header table from transaction data sets. Okay. Now whatever remaining items are there after removal, okay, those you have to write into the decreasing order of their frequency. Now what comes first inside the header table? F. So is there any F here inside the first transaction? Yes. So write this F first. Okay. Now even after F there is A. अगर हम देखेंगे ना तो F के बाद में A है, A के बाद में C है, लेकिन A की जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो 3 है और C की जो फ्रीक्वेंसी है 4 है, and that's why after A we will write what? C. Now this is very important. This you have to write correctly, otherwise the frequent pattern tree that will not be constructed properly. Because whatever frequent pattern tree is constructed, that will be constructed on the basis of this ordered frequency set, ordered frequent item set. Okay, this is considered as ordered frequent item set. Okay, so after F, then there comes what C, and then A of course, and then M, and then P. Now in case of transaction number 200, okay, you have to remove those data items that do not falls into this particular what we can say header table. So we know that this A appears here, okay, keep it. B appears here, keep it. C appears here, keep it. F, yes, keep it. But what about L? L is not there inside this particular header table, so remove it. And then whatever remaining, that should be written inside the order of their frequencies given inside the header table. Okay, so likewise you can write for all, and this will be constructed as what we can say the ordered frequent items. Ordered frequent items. Now once this is done, we have to go for step number 3 of FP growth algorithm, and that is what scan database again to construct FP tree. Okay, अब हम क्या करेंगे? Now we will go with this particular one. What is there in the first transition? What comes first? F. Now we know that the tree always have a root node. Okay, so just write certain root node here. That is empty, of course, because we are not going to construct this particular one as a root. Okay, those should be constructed as the child nodes only. Okay, so children nodes only. So we will have this particular root tree here or root node here. After root, every time keep in mind whenever the child comes, that should be written as a left child. Okay, and whenever the another what we can say same level child comes, that should be written as the right child. So F should be written here. Okay, now while writing, now if you consider here, this is what the final frequency pattern tree or frequent pattern tree. But if we go on constructing it, so because F appears first, okay, after F there should be, after colon there should be 1. Why the 4 is there? Because 4 is written because F appears 4 times in overall transactions, and that's why 4 is written, and that is the final value of that particular F. But if we consider this F in the first transaction, because it appears only once, okay, first time, so F value should be written as 1. Then C, after F there is C, so you have to construct this C as a left child, and again it will be written with 1. Okay, then after C there will be A, so A will be constructed for this C as a left child, and that value will be 1. Then after A, M will be constructed as a left child, that value will again be 1. And after M there will be P, so P is again constructed as a left child, its value will again be 1. Now if you observe for F, C, A, M and P, the values will be 1 only. Even if it is written, if it is given as 4, 3, 3, which is our final output of course. So the values are 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now again, go to the second what we can say ordered frequent item set. There comes F. So already after root, is there any F? Yes. So now this F value will appear as 2. That was before first. That was before what we can say 1. So now it will become what 2. So F की value हो गई 2. Now you have to keep it into mind. Of course, after F there is C. Already after F there is already C. So C की value जो 1 थी अभी कितनी करनी पड़ेगी 2. After C there is A, so A is written. A की value कितनी थी 1, उसको भी 2 कर दो. After A there is B, so is there any B after A in the previous scan? No. A के बाद में M था, तो A के साथ में अभी right child में B लिखो. Now this is what the new thing. A के बाद में right side में B लिखो और B की value कितनी हो जाएगी 1 because it appears first time. तो B की value 1 होगी. जितने बार वो appear होते जाएगा एक एक से बढ़ाते जाएगा. Okay. ए के राइट साइड में बी क्यों लिखा? बिकॉज ए के लेफ्ट साइड में ऑलरेडी एम था पहले ट्रांजेक्शन में. अब दूसरे ट्रांजेक्शन में ए के बाद में बी आ रहा ना, एंड दैट्स व्हाई राइट इट एज अ राइट चाइल्ड. सो बी की वैल्यू 1 हो जाएगी. आफ्टर बी देयर इज एम, सो आफ्टर बी देयर इज एम, सो एम शुड बी रिटन एज अ लेफ्ट चाइल्ड ऑफ दैट एज अ फ्रेश नोड. एम पहले था ए के बाद में, लेकिन वो ए के बाद में था, अभी हमें बी के बाद में चाहिए ना. सो बी का लेफ्ट चिल्ड्रन या लेफ्ट चाइल्ड करके एम को लिखो, उसकी वैल्यू कितनी हो जाएगी 1. Go towards this third transition. We have completed the 1 and 2. So again F comes. So after root, is there any F? Yes. जिसकी वैल्यू कितनी थी 2. Make it 3 because F appears third time. तो उसकी वैल्यू हो गई 3. ये आपको ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. उसके बाद में B. अब F के बाद में B था क्या? नहीं, F के बाद में C था. So write this B as the right children. Okay. So B आ गया यहाँ पे और B की वैल्यू यहाँ पे भी कितनी हो गई 1. ये मत बोलो कि B पहले आया था. यस, वो पहले आया था लेकिन A के बाद में आया था. अब किसके बाद में आया? F के बाद में. So you have to write it separately as a B value 1. Okay. Now third is completed. After that, you have to go for C, fourth transaction. Now it appears very first item is C. Now keep in mind, अभी तक के जो तीनों ट्रांजेक्शन थे उसके अंदर पहला आइटम F आ रहा था, तो हमने यहां से स्टार्ट किए थे लेफ्ट साइड से. अब C आया है ना, तो C ये पहला आइटम होने के कारण कंस्ट्रक्टेड एज अ सेपरेट नोड एट द सेम लेवल वेयर दिस F appears as a right child, and that's why C value is constructed as 1 because it is newly freshly appeared. Okay, C के बाद में फोर्थ ट्रांजेक्शन में कौन आ रहा? B. So right after this C, the B as the left child and get the value as 1. After B there is P, so write this particular P as the left child of B and set the value as 1. Okay, then F is there again in fifth transaction, last transaction. So F is there. Now F was already there. फोर्थ ट्रांजेक्शन में F नहीं आया था, पहले तीनों ट्रांजेक्शन में F आया था, तो F की वैल्यू कितनी हो गई थी? 3. अब फोर्थ ट्रांजेक्शन में फिर से F आया, तो F की वैल्यू कितनी हो गई? 4. गॉट दिस नाउ? यस. अब F के बाद में कौन सा आ रहा? C. C की वैल्यू अगर आप लोगों को याद है तो C की वैल्यू लास्ट 2 थी, अब ये फिर से एक बार आ रहा, तो C की वैल्यू कितनी हो जाएगी? 3. After C there is A, so is there any A after C? Yes, तो A की वैल्यू भी 2 थी, make it 3. After A there is M, so A के बाद में M ऑलरेडी था, M की वैल्यू सिर्फ 1 थी, आप लोग देख सकते हैं. ओके, M की वैल्यू A के बाद में एक ही बार आया था, B के बाद में आया था, वो अलग बात है, लेकिन A के बाद में एक ही बार आया था, तो M की वैल्यू यहाँ पे 1 थी, तो अभी कितनी हो जाएगी? 2. After M there comes P, तो P की वैल्यू भी 1 थी, तो उसको कितना कर दो? 2. Now we have completed everything. And this is what we can say a FP tree which is constructed from this ordered frequent item set. FP tree that is constructed from this ordered frequent item set. Along with the weights, and those weights are nothing but what we can say the frequencies of appearing them inside the data set after a particular item. Okay, now if you can observe here, this C is already here also. Okay, C is already here. Now if we can calculate, अब देखो आप लोग कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं कि कहीं पे भी आओ, लेकिन उसका टोटल काउंट जो है, टोटल फ्रीक्वेंसी जो है, वो इस हेडर टेबल से मैच करनी चाहिए. So we will try it. Okay, F की वैल्यू 4 है. Is there any F again here inside this tree? No. तो F की वैल्यू 4 हेडर टेबल में है क्या? चेक करो. Yes, that is there. C को चेक करो. C is here 3. Here there is 1. So 3 plus 1 4. Is there any other C? No. So C की वैल्यू 4 है. Yes, that is there. So that is correct. Now check for A. So A is here at 3. Is there any A again? No. There is no A inside this particular this tree structure. Besides this, so A की वैल्यू 3 है. Check it here 3. M की वैल्यू देखो, चेक करो. यहाँ पे 2 है और M कहाँ पे आया है? यहाँ पे आया है. So 2 plus 1 3. So M की वैल्यू 3. P की वैल्यू चेक करो. P is here, that is 2 value. Another P is here. Okay, another P is here. उसकी वैल्यू कितनी है? So 1 है. So 2 plus 1 that is 3. हमने B चेक करना रह गया है शायद. B की वैल्यू यहाँ पे 1 है, यहाँ पे 1 है 2 और यहाँ पे 1 है 3. So B की वैल्यू 3. So we have constructed it properly. अब ठीक है, कंस्ट्रक्ट तो कर लिया. So but what is the output? So output is nothing but it is the most frequent item set along with the highest weight. अब आपको एक लेवल कंसीडर करनी है, एक पाथ कंसीडर करना है जिसके अंदर हायर वेट्स है. कौन सा पाथ है? देखो यहाँ पे 4 है, यहाँ पे 3 है, यहाँ पे 3 है, 2 है, 2 है, एंड अदरवाइज दिस पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन इज हैविंग लेस वेटेज. ओके, सारे आइटम्स को फॉलो करने वाला सभी आइटम जो हमने इसके अंदर लिए थे, कितने आइटम्स थे इसके अंदर? 1 2 3 4 5 एंड 6. 1 2 3 4 5 एंड 6. 6 आइटम्स आर देयर. ओके, तो सभी आइटम्स को फॉलो करने वाला पाथ है क्या? यहाँ पे देखो हम लोगों ने निकाला भी है यहाँ पे. ओके, सो वी आर हैविंग दिस F list, that is frequent list as F C A B M P, and all the items are covered. 6 items are covered. So why this is written as the output? Because if we get F, this is having highest frequency here in this particular tree. Then here C is there having highest frequency 3. आप लोग C के लिए दूसरी तरफ नहीं जा सकते, इधर नहीं जा सकते. क्यों? क्योंकि इधर 1 ही फ्रीक्वेंसी है उसकी. हायर फ्रीक्वेंसी की तरफ जाओ. So F, then C, then A. We are having A here with frequency value 3. Okay, then we are having M value with frequency value 2, and then P as frequency value 2. So if we take this particular order F C A M P, okay, F C A M P, and if we observe here F C A, उसके बाद में MP, लेकिन MP के बीच में कौन सा आया है? B. Why B is there? So we are having what we can say बी की अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी हम मैच करेंगे तो बी की फ्रीक्वेंसी कितनी आई थी 1 1 एंड 2 सॉरी 1 1 एंड 1 सो दैट इज 3 so before this m and p whose frequency values are only 2 okay we get what we can say the values of this b as 3 and that's why it comes after this f c because c is nowhere else f के बाद f की फ्रीक्वेंसी थी 4 c की फ्रीक्वेंसी यहाँ पे 3 यहाँ पे 1 that is 4 उसके बाद में a उसके बाद में फिर what we can say b then m and p so this is what we can say the frequency list here and that is considered as what we can say the order of those particular items that appears frequently inside this particular database. So by using this particular approach we can easily find out what is the most frequent item list okay that appears inside this particular data set. So now if we move further so what are the benefits of this particular FP tree structure? Now whatever algorithm whatever example we have seen so from that we can observe some of the benefits of FP tree structure. The first benefit is that it is having a completeness. Okay, preserve complete information for frequent pattern mining. इसके अंदर जितने भी पैटर्न्स है जो फ्रीक्वेंट है उस सभी की इंफॉर्मेशन ये रखता है. नेवर ब्रेक अ लॉन्ग पैटर्न ऑफ एनी ट्रांजेक्शन. ओके कोई भी ट्रांजेक्शन के लॉन्ग पैटर्न्स को ब्रेकआउट नहीं करता. कॉम्पैक्टनेस है जिसके अंदर वी कैन रिड्यूस इररिलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन और इनफ्रीक्वेंट आइटम्स आर गॉन. ऑफ कोर्स वो भी हो रहा. आइटम्स इन फ्रीक्वेंसी डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर. आइटम जो हम लिखते हैं वो हेडर टेबल के अंदर वो हम फ्रीक्वेंसी डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में लिखते हैं. सो द मोर फ्रीक्वेंटली ऑकरिंग द मोर लाइकली टू बी शेयर्ड. ऑफ कोर्स जो ज्यादा से ज्यादा ऑकर हुआ है उस डेटा सेट के अंदर वो हम लोग इजीली कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं और वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा शेयर भी होगा. नेवर बी लार्जर देन द ओरिजिनल डेटाबेस. ऑफ कोर्स नॉट काउंट नोड लिंक एंड काउंट फील्ड. ओके सो ओरिजिनल डेटा सेट से ये बड़ा भी नहीं होगा. And likewise what we can say there are a lot many benefits of this particular frequent tree or frequent pattern tree. So hope you understood this particular example of frequent pattern tree along with the algorithm. We have side by side mentioned it what the algorithmic steps are and what is the example of database how the frequent pattern tree can be constructed. So this was what we can say one of the another scalable methods for mining frequent patterns. So hope you understood this concept properly. Thank you for watching and keep watching my videos. Thank you friends.